Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 128th edition of Cinema Effect. I'm Zach, and I'm joined by my fellow Hans Zimmer appreciator, Jaden.
Hello.
And we've got a resident Irish citizen, a.k.a. Fitzy, a.k.a. Liam.
Hey.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is Tropic Thunder, which opened in the US on the 13th of August, 2008. It was directed by Ben Stiller. It's an action comedy, and the synopsis says, through a series of freak occurrences, a group of actors shooting a big-budget war movie are forced to become the soldiers they are portraying. Sick. Jaden, you are the rewatcher amongst us, I believe. So, how do you feel about Tropic Thunder this time around? How many times have you seen it?
Like 2 and a bit times. Because the first time I watched it was when I was like young, and like I turned it off after like fucking 2 minutes because like all the fake trailers at the start, I was like, this shit's not funny.
All right.
So I stopped, and then I came back to it much later. I don't know, probably when I was like, I don't know, 15 or 16 or some shit. And yeah, shit was banging. I remember quoting that thing at school with fucking mates and stuff like that. And, like, it's great. And now, like, I think I appreciate it even more as a movie, just as a satire rather than like as a comedy as well. Because like, I think everything they do is fucking bang on in regards to war movies and just like the fucking industry as well. Like, you know, from an outside perspective, at least, you know, what we hear and what we can see, it all seems fucking top notch. I love the writing and the dialogue. I love the characters. I think Robert Downey Jr. gives a fucking performance of a lifetime. Like, this is the best thing he's ever put out. Way like better than Iron Man, Sherlock Holmes, whatever. Like, just fucking by leagues. Like, it is a genuinely like award-worthy performance, I think. And I think you know, for the rest of the cast as well, I think they do a pretty good job as well. Yeah, I think this movie is actually like properly great beyond being just a comedy. That's good. So yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. But surely your opinion on the trailers have changed.
No, I still hate that. I still hate the fatty trailer. Actually no, the Kirk Lazarus Tobey Maguire fucking flick looks banging.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I'll cop that one. Scorcher seems a bit underwhelming, and what was the other one? Oh yeah, Al Pacino.
Yeah, the commercial. Yeah.
But even like even that Kirk Lazarus trailer is actually like top notch as well, because like, you know, it's 8 times Academy Award winner, best kisser at MTV Awards.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's top. Yeah.
Oh, I died when it. First of all, I died when it was Tobey Maguire, and then I died again when it just said when it's Kirk Lazarus and Tobey Maguire. Like, it's just him. You know what I mean? It doesn't have like a fake actor name. Oh god, that was great.
I think everyone in the film is real apart from like the primary cast, right? Like, they have like a bunch of like cameos and shit like that. Like, I think all those are like real.
Are they? Well, what cameos are there outside of?
Oh, like at the awards at the end and stuff like that. Like they're not creating fake personas and shit like that.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah, that's right.
All the people that refer to and like all the products they refer to are all real. It's only like the core kind of group that's, you know.
Yeah. It's the alternate universe where like those 5 A-list actors don't exist and are traded with other people. Yeah, but everyone else exists. Yeah. Who was at the awards at the end though? I don't remember. But there were people sitting down, right?
Yeah, there were some people there.
Yeah. Very, very, very helpful that we are. Yeah, great. Yeah. Fitzy, what do you think?
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was a bit like, so the humor is like pretty trashy. And like, so it's parody humor, if you want to call it that. And it was a mix of like, like really funny stuff and not funny. Like the Jack Black farting stuff isn't that funny, but it kind of really fits into the movie as like just like a trashy like 2000s kind of skit kind of thing. So like overall the movie's like really consistently over the top, and like I enjoyed it for that. And yeah, I think Robert Downey Jr.'s performance is pretty hilarious. And Ben Stiller, I think, is really funny in this movie too. He's just kind of stupid, but yeah. Matthew McConaughey's great too. There's 3 like the trio, yeah. Top Cruise, I guess. Yeah.
100%, Jaden. Nah, dude, I loved it. I totally loved it. Like, it exceeded my already, I don't know, fairly decent expectations. I don't know, like, we've done a few comedies, and like for all of them, I'm like, yeah, I find them funny, but I never really think about them again. And they're enjoyable for what they are. They're fun, but whatever. But I don't know. This might be my favorite comedy of all time. Like, I feel like it can. I can finally relate to people having like a classic comedy film that they can rewatch over and over again that they enjoy that much. I've just never had that. But dude, it took seeing Tropic Thunder because I feel like it manages to be really funny and incredibly well made and thoughtful and like everything. It's got all that just dumbster sort of trashy humor in there as well, mixed with clever humor. But like when you're talking about the Jack Black farting stuff, is like the perfect example of just the dumb parody stuff, which I normally can't stand. Like that's the kind of like, I just don't like parody movies or parody content in general. I just find it pretty one note and uninteresting for the most part. But here, I don't know. It felt like it totally fit. I agree, but it also felt like it was being, I don't know, like clever in some way. Like it all contextually worked with the meta of the movie of making fun of the filmmaking industry and Hollywood and all that sort of stuff. So, like, and the fact that they're actors and they acknowledge that they have to do these shitty projects and sequels, and because the fact that that's literally the subject matter, it just all really works for me. Like it all totally feels very consistent in that way, I guess. So I don't know, and I feel like all the actual filmmaking elements as well are like so far beyond others in the genre, like just enhance the material. I was probably looking out for an extra because I knew I was going to be, we're going to be talking about it on the podcast, and I was taking notes and stuff. So maybe if in just a regular viewing, I wouldn't have looked so hard at that. But because I was keeping an extra eye out, like I noticed a lot of really, really impressive stuff about the film in general that I took note of that I think it's worth commending. That other films that we've done, like I don't know, like Superbad, and there's another that's escaping me that I feel like I should know. But these sort of comedies where like they're well made, no doubt, but I feel like this film sort of goes above and beyond in a few areas that we can talk about as well. So yeah. But I mean, the obvious place to start is the performances. We've already sort of done a little bit of that, but we need to go deeper. Because I feel like the comedic performances are really strong throughout the entire thing. I think beyond just fitting in with the jokes in the script and being fun additions, you know what I mean? Like I feel like most of the time when we see comedies, it's like, oh, that actor was fun and they had good chemistry with that actor, and they, and the lines were funny. But I feel like often I found the actors in this movie were like elevating the material like beyond that. Like there's so many examples, but I don't know, like Jack Black in the entire movie was like, I thought the idea of this guy out in the wilderness who's gone cold turkey and is desperate for some heroin, like I thought that idea would just like wear thin, and I thought it'd be like, all right, I get it. But every time he's on screen, he just does it for me so much. Like all his facial expressions, you know what I mean? Like far beyond just what he has to say in the script. It's just, he's so funny. Like when he, that scene where he like confesses he's addicted to heroin and he's like making all those, like he's losing his mind in the face. I thought it was so funny. And there's tons of other examples. Like, God, I love at the start when Ben Stiller is like, when they're doing the scene and he's like getting shot and the over the top like hand gestures and everything he's doing when he's going down on his knees. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All that stuff, like that is like the sign to me of like not just a really funny script, but like great comedic performances, I think, in this film overall. So yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Robert Downey Jr.
No, I don't think I can understate like how good his performance is. Like I saw like I went fishing for comments calling it bad, because like the majority of comments are fantastic, and like I did go fishing for a few comments that were like, no, he's everything. He tries not to be in the film, but I don't think it can be understated as to how good his performance is. Like playing an Australian who's playing a black dude, who then gets it mixed up and who like has an identity crisis, and like his ability to like just kind of stay but then integrate like the kind of personalities, and like the way he doesn't break character but he breaks, obviously like the kind of scripts, like the kind of mold of what he is. Like I don't know, I love it so fucking much. I think it's great. And the makeup is also fantastic. Like if you didn't tell me, like I would have just been like, yeah, that's a poorly written black man.
The makeup is amazing.
Yeah, like that's like the best blackface I've ever seen as well. Like just straight up. Like oh, dude, fucking yeah. Like in this film, like Kirk Lazarus is my Iron Man. You know.
Is it wrong to want like a makeup artist to win an Academy Award for doing blackface? You know what I mean?
Absolutely fucking not. Whoever that was, he or she did her job amazingly. Fucking spectacular.
Dude, Kirk, like his whole thing is it's so ridiculous, but it's like it's also incredibly satisfying. I couldn't agree more. Like his arc in the movie is just like it feels like a well, it is a joke. I don't know. It's just it's satisfying though. Like it totally works, but it's just it's ridiculous. Like you believe. Like explaining what the arc is, like it's this guy and he like finds himself through his method acting. Oh, it's absurd. But I love everything with him making fun of method acting. Like always when they always mention that he always brings up he works on location for 8 months. Like he said he went to the circus for 8 months and he always like does all this crazy shit. Like, oh my God. And just the self-awareness. I think that scene where Ben Stiller and he are talking in the forest, they're walking together and they're just going back and forth about, you know, the art of acting, you know, and they're like, you know, you just got to dig deeper. You just got to do the work and all this sort of shit. It's like, it's just a level of self-awareness I just found hilarious. Like, I love that they're willing to make fun of their own craft and, you know, take the piss out of the pretentiousness of it at times, you know. So that was great. And this movie loves the R word as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
You made a good point, though. You made a good point. You know.
Yeah.
Well, like the first film that jumped to my mind.
The point.
The first film that jumped to my mind when it happened was What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which I didn't mention in that discussion.
That's what it's a reference to, right? Like, or at least.
Well, that's what Simple Jack is, right? Like Simple Jack surely is that, right?
I think so.
Because the whole like, you know, mom is not going to wake up no more, type of thing. Like that's got to be Gilbert Grape.
Really?
I know.
That's a bit late, though. Like, you know, it's a bit like.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but there's similarities.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, they what was the other one? Sean Penn in I Am in Sean Penn and whatever it is, I Am Sam. That was still like 2000s or some shit, like wasn't it?
Oh.
Like early 2000.
I don't know.
He says Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah, Forrest Gump. Yeah.
But I think would Kirk say that in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Leo went full retard? You know what I mean? Like, would he say?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah,
I think he would. You know,
you
I think he'd be critical.
So.
You don't think he did?
No. I think Leo and sister.
Wait, hold on. Did you study it in school or not? Because I think you watched it later, didn't you?
I think I studied it in school. I was in English until year 12.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in advanced English. Oh, okay.
How do I even say this? Like, nah, I'm not even gonna try.
Walking on eggshells here. Okay, all right. We'll leave it till after the show. I was interested in going deep in the craft of acting, but okay, all right, sure. Oh my God, where else do we even go, dude? I mean, I can go. I can talk to Tom Cruise for 10 minutes. You know, I can do that.
Well, I think Tom Cruise is not a weak part, but an overrated part.
Okay.
I think he's really great, and I think his lines are pretty good. But like in regards, like we're a bit spoiled for choice in regards of like inventive ways of swearing and like kind of, you know, about like just kind of vulgarity these days. So like his part doesn't stand out too much, just because I have seen like other products where like, you know, they use swearing better, you know,
right,
like In the Loop and, you know, The Thick of It and stuff like that. I still think he's great, yeah, but I think it comes more from like the kind of eccentricities, is that a word? I don't know, the eccentricness of his kind of character rather than like from like the actual dialogue he has.
Right. Yeah. No, that's actually fair. I agree with that, because I thought it was totally hilarious. Like, it killed me. I didn't really know. Like, I knew he was in the movie, but I hadn't really like seen any of him in the movie before. What you say about the dialogue's fair, but I just got such a big kick out of like seeing Tom Cruise do this on screen. Like, it was just, oh my God, like the whole thing, but like the extra hair on his arms as well. Like, It was just like so. Oh my God, and the way he hit. Every time he hits the music and it's that goddamn Flow Rider song, you know, it's just like, It killed me every single time. This has got to be the best credit sequence of any film ever made, you know? Like, what
And-
comes close?
End credits, do you mean? Or?
Yeah. Like, Tom Cruise, it's Tom Cruise dancing in a fat suit. Like, come on.
Yeah. To each their own.
That's high art.
High
It's
art.
unbelievable.
Well, it definitely
It was
breaks
crazy.
his same character mold that we've talked about a few times.
100%. Again, as I say, every single time he comes up, I'm building the case that Tom Cruise is the greatest actor to ever live. And once again, he's come out here with a brand new character, a brand new performance that just shakes everything up once again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's funny how Tom Cruise is amazing in every single movie except for The Last Samurai. It's like amazing. Like something happened on that movie where it's just like
Oh my god.
you're just like infected or something. I don't know.
Wait, so hold on, is this a shift in the dialogue we've had about The Last Samurai? Do you actually think Tom Cruise is bad in that film, or am I just omitting that from my memory?
No,
Yeah,
I
to be
don't-
fair, I
think
don't know
it-
either.
I don't think he's bad in that film.
Oh, okay.
But he's not amazing like he is in every other film.
Okay.
Okay, all right. That's
Okay.
fair.
Mainly because his character is one-dimensional mold of
Mhm.
We should do a part 2 Last Samurai.
I think if it's ever going to happen, it's going to be that one. It's got to be. It's got to be. Can I just say that what did Tom Cruise said he was going to file? He didn't care if Speedman died because he was going to file an insurance claim for his death.
Mm.
That's what he said, right? Immediate flashbacks to Warner Brothers canning Batgirl, and I was just, and I'm just like, wow, this is too real. This is unbelievable. When they cancelled Batgirl earlier this year,
What happened?
the
Right.
reported reason was that it was for a tax cut. So I was like, wow,
Oh, damn.
this is like this level of commentary on Hollywood is like way too spot on. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, I've got some trivia about this. All right. Ben Stiller first came up with the idea. Wait, damn it, that's the wrong piece of trivia. I'm so sorry. Ben Stiller said nearly all aspects of the Les Grossman character were developed by Tom Cruise, including the dancing and look of the makeup. Stiller said that in addition to the more obvious makeup effects applied to Cruise's face and head, the extra hair on his chest and arms was his idea also. Cruise also decided to play the character wearing oversized prosthetic hands, which I did not notice. That's something. Do you ever pay attention to like the size of people's hands?
No, but it's funny that they mention that because I've been still working my way through It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and there is a character in that like it like obsesses over hands, and he wears like these fake prosthetic hands, but like they're like freakishly large and like obviously fake. It's like it's played for laughs. So I mean, like it's funny.
Oh, that's good.
Like it's kind of bringing that up there.
I definitely noticed it in this movie though.
Oh, you
I
did?
think- yeah. Those are some thick hands. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
I'm
fingers.
sure if I were to look at them, I'd see immediately. But like, I don't look at people's hands really.
No?
I mean, while we're talking about hands, there's no better time to ask. I feel like the stuff that really worked for me was all the humor relating to Hollywood and just all the surface level quips and stuff. But like, I'm not as much of an expert in war films and stuff, so like some of that parody stuff and meta stuff there sort of goes over my head, I think. But was that when it was Nick Nolte's character who grew his hands back, right?
Yeah.
I did not understand that at all. Is that a reference to something?
No, I think it's just because he's faking it, isn't it? Isn't that just? Isn't that?
Oh,
Like it's just the fact that he's a fake war hero.
Yeah.
oh,
think
he
it's a
actually
reference.
right. Okay. Oh, yeah.
But
I was just confused by that. Yeah.
I mean, it still satirizes like the kind of broken down, war veteran kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll go to my other trivia now. I've done the wrong thing. They both start with Ben Stiller, so I got confused here. Just in terms of talking about the film making fun of actors and Hollywood and all that sort of stuff, quick shout out to the line where Robert Downey Jr. said the script reads me, which I thought was funny. And like he hadn't read the script at all. But anyway, Ben Stiller first came up with the idea for this film while working on Empire of the Sun. He had said in interviews at the time he had friends who had acted in Platoon and Hamburger Hill. I don't know what that movie is. And they would go on about the intense boot camp preparation and simulation of war that these projects involved, as well as how it made them feel like real soldiers, the actors, that is. Stiller found this funny because he thought being an actor in a war film was nothing like being a real soldier in real war. So, like, the entire idea for this film is like him taking the piss out of actors that tell him about, how they prepare for these roles and shit, which I just thought is genius. I love that.
Wait, was it you say Ben Stiller was working on Empire of the Sun?
That's
he's
what it says.
Watching. Huh.
Is he in it? Wouldn't he have been like
no,
a child?
I don't think so. Actually, maybe he is. Maybe he's a child. I don't know. I can't remember.
Damn. I don't know. That's what it says.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Anyway.
Wait. What year is Empire of the Sun?
1987.
Yeah.
87, really?
Ben Stiller was 3 years old.
Oh, okay, well.
Nah, no shot. He'd be fucking...
No, he wasn't. I just made
No.
that.
I reckon he's probably born in like 60, 65 or some shit. I reckon he's probably like a young man. I mean,
So
I'll search it up.
Fucking...
Yeah, he might have been a gaffer.
He's directed some films.
He's
directed this, but...
Yeah.
I was bang on. 1965. Yeah.
Nice. 22 years old. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Because he's directed a few films like Reality Bites and something else.
Is he the Zoolander? Does he direct Zoolander?
Oh, yeah. He does.
He does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's a great director. Like, there are scenes in this film that I just would not have expected to be here in terms of just how cinematic some of them were, I found. Like, the film is clearly shot on film, which I feel like I've said 5 weeks in a row now for some reason, but like this really was. And I don't know, like when I think about the look of these comedy parody films, like I don't know, in my mind's eye, when I think about some of them I've seen, they're just the most unappealing looking things. And I thought this film looked terrific. Like, dude, there are standout shots of like in the third act when the truck explodes and the aftermath of that, and the way that shot when Ben Stiller's getting up and everything's like falling around him. Like, I was like, dude, like you could put this exact shot in like a very serious, like Oscar-winning war movie right now, and it totally would be stand out in that as well. It was great. And then, like the scene where he kills the panda, like that was cinema. You know what I mean? And like that's actually the perfect example of like, no joke, like that's hilarious, but like it was actually really well done. I thought, like the way it cuts, like in the flash of light in the panda's face, I was like, no. Yeah. Not the panda. I just thought it was great.
That shit was hilarious.
And then he wore it on his head. Oh my god. Yeah. And that entire opening scene of them like shooting the sequence that ends up coming back at the end in reality. But like the actual first attempt of it when they were shooting that and Jack Black's hanging from the chopper, like I thought that was so well done. And I think all the effects are really effective in that, like sometimes they're sort of distracting, but it feels like they're always distracting when they're meant to be. I found like some of the overtop explosions and the CGI choppers in that opening scene were like, were stand out. Like, oh, that looks weird, but like that was obviously the point because they're shooting the scene, and then it zooms out, and then you realize they're on the film set, which was really clever. I thought.
Were you baited by the star? Like, did you think like the star was actually like a proper film, like that was happening, or like?
No, I wasn't baited by it. No, because I think I might have been if we hadn't chosen the question of the week.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have been at that point. But, yeah, I mean, that whole thing was just, oh, God, it was so funny. And then he has to sit there with his prosthetic hands blown off, Do all this. It's good.
I think this movie is so, like you're talking about, like, the satire of Hollywood in the film and, like, war films. I think it's like really consistent in that it just satirizes like those two things, and so like the jokes never feel out of place or random because they're always either about Hollywood or like war films. So everything just like it's like it's one of the only comedies that like kind of is like that has that level of like internal consistency, I guess.
Well said. That's a great point because like even the dumb shit I really like that seems dumb on the surface, like Matthew McConaughey getting the TiVo, like that's hilarious. But even that plays into the whole like agent actor relationship dynamic and the contracts involved in that and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's great. I love it. When he comes back at the end and he's got the TiVo, I was dying, and it was so good. Oh god! And just shout out to Matthew McConaughey. Oh my god!
Oh, he was
So
fantastic as well. Like genuinely, like all of his phone call scenes, just giving one-sided performances. Like I think he does a great job at it.
Totally.
And I love that he shows up at the end. It's fantastic.
He just comes out of the bush and he's there.
The way he comes out of the bush, tosses the TiVo, and then when they fly up the helicopter, the way he tears off at speed back into the jungle.
I noticed it too.
Like that's fantastic.
I'm just like, aren't they just gonna catch him? But then he just like runs off like you said. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh god! And also shout out to the fact I've never seen someone play Wii Sports so intensely in my life.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy. He's like there sweating it up playing Wii Sports. It's like no one told him that, dude. You can just sort of slightly flick it and it like registers fine,
Yeah.
Oh god, that was great. What else is there? Oh, someone said in the film, I can't remember who. Oh, I think Tom Cruise said it on the video call when he said, wait, was it? No, I'm sorry. I think it was Ben Stiller said it when he was talking about his career. He said, I've done a lot of effects-driven event films, was the quote. And I just thought that was hilarious. Like, it's like the perfect, like, pretentious way to put, oh, yeah, I do dumb Hollywood blockbusters. I think I'm going to use that now. Effects-driven event films. That is James Cameron's genre. That is just, every time we go see a James Cameron film, that's what he'd call his own films, I think. Effects-driven event films.
What do you mean? James Cameron's high up.
Oh, sorry.
For sure.
You're right.
I think if you were to refer to the rest of Danny's career, you'd probably call it events-driven fucking effects-driven event films.
Yeah. Or as Marty would call them, theme park rides. They're the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, how can we forget that the director of this film exploded?
Oh yeah, Steve Coogan's great in that little bit he has.
He wanted to make a good film so bad, I can just relate to that.
You've been on a tough film set trying to pump
a
out
lot,
a film.
many times. Yeah. I think I've made more films than you, Jen. I think.
You are the choice actor of the friend group. So yeah.
Somehow, I don't know why. Yeah. Oh my god, dude! When he exploded, I did not see it coming at all, and it was so good. Oh man! And then Ben Stiller tries to pick up his head and pretend that it was all part of the plan. Oh man!
When he's digging around in his head and like sucking his finger, I genuinely got a bit gagged up, but yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. What else happened in this movie? Jack Black started COVID. I wrote. Oh, because he had the bat.
He had the bat. Yeah.
Oh man, good for him. I've got only positive things to say about the score and music choices. I have to say, I don't know if they stood out to you guys at all, but there were a few moments where I've already forgotten all the songs. There were a couple establishing shots, and when they fly in for the first time, there was a cool song, and
oh yeah,
there was that scene where even that first scene that we talked about, where it's the bait scene where they're shooting the first action sequence thing, when they're doing the scene where Ben Stiller and Danny Jr. have to act and start crying. Even the score there was really good. I was like, it only worked to invest me more in the meta joke of it, that it's actually a real emotional moment, So I thought it was all standout stuff, to be honest. Again, that was just another little detail that was you didn't have to try this hard for this dumb comedy parody, But hell, I don't know who did the music, but they did a great job. And then they threw a child off the bridge.
Oh yeah, little half squat. Yeah. I
he spat so
that.
many times.
Yeah, I thought he actually did leave with half squat, and there was an ending scene with, just from memory. I thought there was a scene with him and half squat back in Hollywood, some shit living it up. But, yeah. So when he starts stabbing him, I was like, oh fuck, I don't remember that part.
That whole ending sequence, I thought that was playing with story conventions in ways that were really fun. It just kept every single time. They go back for Ben Stiller. They get in the room and Ben Stiller does the thing where he's he doesn't know himself. And he's like, I think I belong here. He does that whole thing. And then they have to snap him out of it. And then they get him out of there and he's like, you're right. And then he becomes the hero. And then they run across the bridge and he's like, I think I need to go back and be with my, I think I can go back and it's like they play with all that stupid, such archetypes. But I thought it was just so, every time they did it, I saw through it. I just thought it was so funny, so clever. And the fact, he ran back and wanted to be with them and then turned around and was like, no, bad idea. Because of course it's a bad idea. But every single time the film does this, we talked about, what was it? Oh, this is such a random pull. When I talked about Ticket to Paradise last week, this movie is the perfect example of doing the exact opposite of falling into the trap that movie does, where it just gets bogged down in emotional scenes where it thinks the audience gives a shit about the sappy stuff in it. This movie is so efficient in what it's trying to do, where all the stupid stuff happens with the chopper at the end and they fly off and you cut straight to the Oscars and he wins the Oscar and then the goddamn movie ends. You know what I mean? And it's thank you. That's great. Within all of that, I got satisfying character arcs. Even goddamn, what's his name? Al Pacino. He got to be with his partner at the Oscars. And I'm even that's a satisfying character arc, which was cool. You know what I mean? It somehow managed to wrap all that stuff up nicely very quickly and didn't waste my time and was still consistently hilarious because then Tom Cruise is dancing. So no complaints here with that.
Yeah, the character arcs are actually good.
Right?
They kind of some of them learn how to escape their Hollywood delusions, I guess. Robert Downey Jr.'s arc is kind of letting go of the black, character. And then Ben Stiller's is kind of, I don't know, maybe taking himself less seriously or something.
I think it was finding a friend, and he found a friend in McConaughey, so I was like...
Yeah.
Oh, well, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
But I think McConaughey making his way into the jungle for him was, the moment he realized that, he's got friends and stuff like that, so, yeah.
Oh, I think there's something deeper going on with Simple Jack, I think there is. I sense it. I feel it.
What's going on, do you reckon?
Nothing's going on, Jade. It's Simple Jack. The scene where he had to perform it live in front of the... Oh, man. Is it bad to admit that I laugh at Ben Stiller, stumbling his speech,
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Could be. Oh, well. I'll let the audience be the judge of that, I guess. But I did laugh. Quite a bit. How do we feel, actually, about Robert Downey Jr.'s Australian accent?
It was decent, but, it was obviously, what do you call it?
Not great?
Fucking...
exaggerated.
Yeah, exaggerated, that's what, yeah. I think it was pretty decent, but, yeah, it was overly exaggerated for the comedy effect, but, yeah.
Okay.
The funniest part of the movie to me is his interactions with the guy who's actually black, and he's always just disapproving of him because he's just literally I don't know, appropriating him the whole time.
Yeah,
and it's just it's so awkward.
And that's exactly what it was. It was awkward, and the other guy was just disappointed. It wasn't even it wasn't even trying to make a statement. It was just dude, can you stop, please, for the love of God?
Yeah.
The character of Kirk Lazarus was originally written as Irish. Wow. Crazy. It was changed to Australian when Robert Downey Jr. said it would be easier for him to improvise in the Australian accent that he had already developed for natural-born killers. Which I didn't know. Did he do an Australian accent in that, I guess? I guess he did.
I think he's the reporter in that. I haven't seen it. But...
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't... It was okay, I guess I'd say. It didn't offend me. Didn't blow me away by any means either,
I'm glad that he was Australian. Representation. It's nice.
Sure, absolutely.
Can you imagine if an actual Australian won 8 Oscars? Could you imagine that?
I don't think that's possible.
Instead, we're shafted with a few nominations every 10 years.
Yeah. And they're all Ben Mendelsohn, probably.
Jackie Weaver. Yeah.
Now I've forgotten what I was going to say. Damn it. Never mind. I'll move on to the next trivia. As part of a promotional tie-in, the body sweat energy drink scene in the film was available for a limited time on Amazon. But it tasted like shit.
Amazon was around back then. That's surprising.
2008. Yeah, I'm sure, yeah, it would have been over there, I guess. Not here for sure. That was funny. I must admit, when I clicked play on Stan, talked about getting baited. When I clicked play on Stan, and literally the first frame of the file was that ad with like chicks' asses in that guy's face. I was so confused. I was like, hang on, they don't even start with the logos or something. I didn't understand it at all. But yeah, God, that whole thing was hilarious. Yeah, we'd already talked about it, but God.
I imagine it's like, because it's like the first time I watched it was on a DVD. So like which is obviously the intended effect for like, you know how DVDs play like before, like they play the trailer before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it was fitting, you know.
Totally. Yeah. I can't even imagine, it would have been so fun to see that in the theater, I imagine, because you would have been like, you would have been trying to figure out when did the movie start.
I genuinely think I thought like the first few things were real up until like the film started. Like when I first watched it and I turned it off early. Like I was like, a bunch of shit trailers.
I might have been the same. Yeah.
Well, look at it, like is like even like 12 years after this, Spike Jonze, no, other guy, Spike Lee releases The Five Bloods.
Oh, right.
You know, like, I mean, you can take Kirk Lazarus and put him into Five Bloods, just a few frames, and you're like, oh yeah. And the way the film falls apart at the end with that big action sequence where they're just killing a bunch of Vietnamese, like, it's exactly.
Oh, I forgot about that. God, how do you remember that? Oh my God.
Because I have this vitriol for the film, so I need to remember it.
Do you? Did you hate it at the time, or did that develop?
Oh no, it's a 6, and it's still a 6, but like I just don't think it deserves the praise it got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
fair enough. All right.
I just don't like the way they depicted the Vietnamese in that film.
Sure. I mean, I just don't understand why they bothered making any more Vietnamese war films, Vietnam war films. You know, after this film was created, like you've peaked.
Honestly, like it feels like this should have been the end, because like it does it perfectly and points out why you shouldn't do it anymore, pretty much.
It's the film's entire argument. Stop making these movies, please. Oh God. All right, let's get to our final verdicts for Tropic Thunder. Fitzy.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Pretty great film. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. So 8 out of 10. Very funny film.
Ditto. Same here. 8 out of 10. I agree. Didn't waste a second of my time. Yes.
I concur. 8.
Concur. Like Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
When does he say that?
Oh, when he becomes a doctor. That's like all he says. I concur.
Oh, yeah. Great movie too. Yeah. Excellent. Too easy.
Real sound. So, I'm just like imagining the episode right now.
Oh, yeah?
I thought like for a second that I felt like I was watching it, you know? My brain was like anticipating the real sound.
Oh, it exists in your brain head, in your brain hard drive. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm functioning at like 80% brain capacity today because, once again, I was going to say something and it's escaped me. What you going to do? Speaking of escaping me, let's get into news chat because there's not a lot, except I wanted to give Jane the opportunity to talk about Gangs of New York getting a television program.
Oh, me the opportunity.
The floor is yours, sir.
Well, Marty's producing it. He wrote the script back in whatever time. Actually, did he? I don't know. I fucking.
So is it an adaptation? Sure. Oh God.
Let me find the thing. Like
I must say,
it's.
I'm not a Gangs of New York hater, but I must say, if it's an adaptation, I don't know.
In works at Miramax with Brett Leonard and Marty Scorsese. Who's Brett Leonard? Oh, is he the writer? He might be the writer.
I think the last thing Gangs of New York needs to be is expanded and longer.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like, oh, God.
Like, if they just took the title and took like a different approach with it, had different characters, had a different story, like I'd be down for that. Like similar to, I think there's been a don't know if they were any good, but there's a Limitless show and there's a Minority Report show. You know what I mean? They just take the title and the IP, but then like tell a new story within that world. You know, like I'd be down for that. Sure, why not? I think it'd be kind of a weird choice because like it's just, I don't know, it's just New York in the 1800s. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Is that
it
interesting?
is that. It's a new take on the
Oh.
story with new characters that were not featured in the movie.
Right. Okay.
Just
So it's doomed
as-
to get one season and be cancelled. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Excellent.
Marty's rumored to be directing the first 2 episodes, and then producing the rest.
I was just going to direct television. Good for him.
Mm.
Yippee! Let's get to our highlights of the week. Shaden, what have you been watching?
All right, yeah, I watched Nobody Sleeps in the Woods tonight, which is a Polish slasher film. It was very disappointing because, not because it is just like a copy of products that we've seen previously. I mean, that's what most horror is these days. But just because like it doesn't really do anything interesting with it, and like the creature design's pretty bad. It's just some pimply fat guys. It's a bit too wrong turn, but also not interesting enough at the same time. I don't know. There's better Netflix European slasher films. Is essentially what it was. But it was nice to see it Polish. I don't know. I like Polish films. I haven't seen a lot of them, but I just like. I don't know. I like the vibe of Polish films. So I had that going for it. It was decent, but it's not worth it really. So don't watch it. Don't watch the second one, which I will try not to do. But there's no promises on that.
Worse than Primetime?
Oh, dude, Primetime was banging. This is
Okay.
this is just average. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Quite a collection of knowledge of Polish cinema being developed here on the show. I
Yeah,
like
the
it.
2 Netflix films.
Cool.
And I think you mentioned Corpus Christi that one time, so there you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right. What have I been watching, man? I don't know. Oh, I finished Yellowstone season 1. I've been watching that. I don't know. Very early days, so I don't want to speak to it too much, but I jumped into it because I loved 1883 and I love Taylor Sheridan's writing, and so it was I only heard good things about it, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I literally finished season 1 this morning, and it's cool. It's good. I like it. Like it's I feel like the whole season's like it was a 9-episode season. The whole season felt like a pilot in terms of I felt like I spent the whole time like I enjoyed it, but it never. Only right towards the end did it really feel like it was grabbing me to like really want to keep watching it. I was sort of just watching. The whole time I was like, this is definitely quality stuff, but I was just sort of watching it at that point just out of curiosity. And then it's only finally starting to be like, oh, okay, now I feel like it's got some momentum now. Like it felt like the whole season was taking a lot of time to build its characters, which is great. That's great. That's cool. That's awesome. But so it didn't like immediately hook me or anything. But I mean, there's still plenty of seasons to go, so we'll see. We'll see where it goes. It's laid the groundwork, and I'm at the point where I'm starting to get invested. So it's all good direction. So only onwards and upwards with that one, I think. Fitzy, what about you?
I don't have anything this week. I'm not even up to date on House of the Dragon. I'm like
Oh, damn.
2 weeks behind.
Tell us about the Twitch streams and YouTube videos you've been watching then.
Yeah?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Why not?
Shit, what have I been watching? Oh, yeah, actually, I've been watching Summer 1G, who I haven't really watched in the past, play Overwatch 2. And Trainwrecks TV. Trainwrecks playing Overwatch 2.
Are you watching Trainwrecks post drama, or have you always watched Trainwrecks?
Post drama?
Yeah.
Dude, Trainwrecks is always post drama. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah,
What's the
true.
drama?
That
What's the
massive
most
gambling drama and like
Oh, right.
all that shit that happened like 4 weeks ago.
Did that affect him?
It doesn't affect him. It just boosts him because there's no such thing as fucking.
Dude, those gambling streams are actually like crazy though. Like he literally bets like 10,000 per like roll.
Didn't he go like 2.3 million down in one stream?
Probably. I've seen him like the slot stream's been bleeding into my my schedule because of the Overwatch 2 viewing. But yeah, that's been good. That's been fun, and educational.
Good mix up there, Jaden. That was good. Well done. I feel like we should do that more. If you haven't got a highlight, you're lying because you do, don't you?
You're always
Yeah.
consuming media, books.
Yeah.
True,
Music.
academic articles. You could say what was my highlight academic article.
Yeah. What's the DOI on the best article you've read this week?
I consume a lot of poems, so I'm gonna talk about the poems I read.
Do you in a collection, or do you just like open source them on the internet? Like,
I read many poem collections.
uh,
Yeah. Looking forward to diving in, but it's going to be a longer segment. We're going to need a lot more time, so I won't discuss it yet. Now comes the segment where we hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week we asked you, what is the best film about filmmaking? Luke said, I haven't really seen any films of this kind.
Bro,
I remember.
I thought my audio cut out. What the hell? It's on a different tab.
I gotcha. I remember half watching that with the wait, what? That one with Ben. Oh God! I actually completely didn't even consider this one. This wasn't on any of the lists I looked at. I remember half watching that one with Ben, Big Schlong Affleck, Argo, I think, which was all right. Totally forgot about that. I've been enjoying the Marvel documentaries about how they make their movies and shows, so I'll say those even though they're documentaries and not films. Well, okay. Well, documentaries are films, but you can't really say that your favourite film about filmmaking was the documentary of the making of the film. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a level not appropriate to the question. Yeah, I agree. Like, dude, if that were the case, I'd say, of course, the documentary of the making of episode 1, one of the greatest films I've ever seen. But, are they the same? If you know the answer, please write into, is a doco a film or not? Oh, I guess it's just an extra at the end there. Sorry. For your chance to win a free toaster. That's nice. Sorry, I actually already completely broke down that argument before I read that part, so never mind. Andy said, my favourite film about filmmaking of all time is Man with a Movie Camera, a Soviet Union silent film. Oh my God. Ukrainian Soviet, not Russian, just to make sure I'm not committing a sin of some sort. Although this is like a documentary, we see a man expressing his craft of moving images photography through energetic camera work and wickedly paced montages editing. And this is all done in the 1920s, which is pretty rewarding too. Won't expand too much on it. So think of this like Korean. Okay. So think of this like Koreaniskatsi.
Nah, wrong.
Koreaniskatsi.
It's just read it phonetically. Just say it phonetically. I think it gets it.
Now, the secret thing I did before the show is that Andy sent me a video pronouncing it for me. And I learnt it, as you saw on the webcam. And I swear to God, he said Koreaniskatsi. Now, I'm going to play him. You want me to play him right now?
Isn't it Koyana
Okay, so if I'm mispronouncing what he's saying, then it's totally on me. Let's find out.
Just watch the fucking movie. It says it's like 48.
Koyaanisqatsi.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds like what I was saying.
No, you were missing this. You were missing like the S at the Scottsy. You were saying Koyana. You were saying
Koyaanisqatsi.
I don't know. I think you sounded wrong. I don't know, man.
Okay, all right. It's all on tape.
I actually did think it was different to that, but
Okay. It might have been. I don't know. I tried, guys. I really tried. Okay. Andy really tried to prep me. I really appreciate his effort. I may still have botched it. Okay. So I'm going to restart the sentence. Won't expand too much on it. So think of this like Koyaanisqatsi.
No,
but not slow.
You're emphasizing the wrong part. You did it again. You're getting the right letters, but you're emphasizing the wrong part of the word.
Like
Koyaanisqatsi, it's Koyaanisqatsi, not Koyaanisqatsi. Or like you're doing something where you emphasize the end. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I broke it down phonetically for myself here, so I feel like that's where I'm doing myself wrong. Anyway, I'm not going to read it again. More kinetic, fast-paced, and set an exciting and happy time when Moscow and Kiev used to be in the same country. I'm certain that the film was shot in these cities. I really hope everyone who listens to this segment also is a member of the Discord server, so they've read Andy's comment and it makes actual sense to them, not me butchering All right, let's get to our answers. Jaden, what is the best film about filmmaking?
X. Porn films are films, so
Hell yeah, they are. It's a good answer. Again, another one. I had to look at lists for this just to rack the brain, and that was also not on any list.
What's your favorite porn film? Zach?
My favorite porn film?
No, Zach.
Oh.
I definitely do not. I don't have one. No chance. Okay. What do you?
Yeah.
What you do?
No.
Hold on, are you talking about proper productions, or are you just talking about any old video? Because
right.
Those are two different answers,
Exactly.
But
no, the question was film.
Just any.
Well, in that case, it's the Star Wars parody, but it's not the main Star Wars parody. It's because that one's because if you search up Star Wars parody, you're gonna get a few answers. It's you need to look for the right one.
The right one. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This is a full production.
Oh, it's full production, like body paint and everything. Yeah.
Body paint and everything. So there's Twi'leks involved, evidently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Naturally, of course.
But you see, there's a few that didn't do it. There are a few that because there's some with like Darth Talon, and there's some with just like random Twilight. You need to find.
Oh, of course, dude. Darth Talon was a character created for porn. I swear to you, that design. Are you kidding me with that? I had Boogie Nights because it's better than The Visit, which were my two back and forths. So I'll say Boogie Nights, I guess. Boogie Nights is my favorite, but I was sort of unsure about the porn aspect before Jaden already got ahead of it. So I also had The Visit written down as well because I think The Visit's really cool. I really liked it. I just love the idea of this, teenage girl who goes and makes this documentary. And I feel like the rules of M. Night's, film in terms of how it's shot, the rules of it and how he's very consistent with all the angles and stuff. I feel like it did a great job of never breaking any of its own internal logic, I guess, I feel like it could be prone to doing that at times, but don't think it ever did to my recollection. Fitzy, what's your favourite porn? I mean, sorry, what's your favourite filmmaking?
The pitch delivery. No, what was it? Well, I don't want to say Irma Vep because Andy would be winning if I said that. So I was thinking of cheating and saying Inception, but I looked up.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't Zach make the argument on the show? Or was it someone else?
I made the argument that The Prestige is a film about filmmaking.
But I think the same thing can be said about Inception because of the roles they each take on.
Yeah,
where DiCaprio is
and they're creating images. They're creating a dreamscape to be immersed in, and the kind of subconscious from the writer seeps into the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I rewatched Inception, and it was one of the most satisfying experiences of my life. It was amazing. It was and there was a specific moment in the film where, the moment where Leonardo DiCaprio is that dumb cop is so deep into he's in the void or whatever. I forget what it's called, but he's limbo. Yeah. But the film is the film is so deep into the dream. And most of the movie is just in the the main heist, the Inception part. But the moment he wakes up on the plane is such it is the most satisfying cut I think I've ever seen in my life. It is just it's so perfect. And it's kind of unexpected. It seems kind of abrupt, but it's so perfect. But oh shit, I wasn't gonna say Inception.
But you have.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I looked up a list, and I saw The Aviator, which is also a great choice.
How is that? I thought from the outside, I just thought that was a film about, I don't know, some guy who flew planes.
Yeah, it's about Howard Hughes who flew planes, but he also made Hell's Angels, a movie with a lot of planes. And, he made a few films. He was one of the most ambitious kind of filmmakers. He put he put the most money into. His films are the most expensive kind of his era, I guess. The Aviator looks like a boring biopic kind of thing, but it's really amazing. It's like the technical like looking visuals are really amazing. I like really like the error. It's like it's really like green and like red, and the evocation of the era is really, immaculate. But also it's just like a great character study of Howard Hughes. Just like, his obsession, his kind of his sickness and everything. And yeah, it's a great watch.
Cool. That's nice to hear, because I totally relate to when you say it's not just another boring biopic, because, I totally relate to that. So that's encouraging. All right. As always, we'd love you to submit your questions, thoughts, or reviews for next week's film in the YouTube comment section. Send us a DM on Instagram. When was the last time someone did that, Liam? When was the last time you got a DM on Instagram?
Damn, every day.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, not
Lovely.
on Cinema Effect on my...
Oh, okay.
Cinema Effect, no.
Sure. Oh, okay. So I can take it out of the script here when I say this part? No, maybe?
No, you need to encourage more of it.
Okay, all right. Send us a DM on Instagram for cookies and join the Discord. This week we're asking you, what is a movie you're embarrassed that you haven't seen yet? Let us know in the comments down below. Fitzy, why are we asking this question?
Because Zach hasn't seen Jaws. Oh, look at that guy. Look at this guy. This guy hasn't seen Jaws. Oh my god. No, yeah, we're doing Jaws. Which one versus my ET, which I haven't seen. I haven't seen ET.
So it would have been appropriate either way. That's cool.
So James hyped another Spielberg film. It's probably out like 6th or something. Sorry, 5th. I said you're hyped for the film.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. The Fablemans is coming out soon, so it's going to tie in nicely,
True. I haven't seen Jaws in a minute. Hot minute.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. There's going to be a lot to analyse, a lot to break down.
Stan. It's probably on everything, but it's definitely on Stan and Foxtel.
Okay, cool.
Dude, your
It's going to be a deep
parents
episode. I'm sorry, I cut you off. What was that?
No, it's all right.
Sharko. Bite. Yum. Is that the whole movie?
You need to get rid of that because
Mechanical shark. Yum.
You need to cut that from the file.
I will. All right. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you very much, Chad and Liam, for joining me as always. Have a great rest of your week and goodbye.